All right, welcome back to another episode of the Couples Cast. In this episode, we're going to talk about how to not lose yourself in a relationship. I know I've been guilty of this before.
Same.
But...
Yeah, who am I? Am I Jeff? Am I Jess?
Am I Jeff's?
Which one am I?
It kind of is hard when our names are so similar. Don't you think? Maybe not. Maybe it's just me.
I think it's just you.
I call me you all the time.
Really?
You do the same thing. I hear you do it. You're like, yeah, and I'm Jeff.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Okay. So anyways, today we're going to talk about how to not lose yourself in a relationship. But first, if this is your first episode with us, what are you doing? Go back and watch the previous episodes. But we are Jeff and Jess, and this is the Couples Cast where we help you create a relationship and life you desire. Sweet. I'm really excited for this episode because
Me too.
I feel this is something that most do.
Yeah.
And it's not our fault or your fault necessarily. I think it's because first of all, we go through childhood trauma and wounding and things that build up like everyone on this planet. But then we want to make sure we really care about somebody that like we're like showing this love, you know? And sometimes we lose ourselves in the process.
Yeah, it's like, oh, you like arts and crafts? Same. You like pottery? Same. You like ballet? Me too. You like musicals? Okay, that's where you got me. Just kidding. Feeling musicals are fine.
Well, to be fair, like when we first started dating, we kept like side-eyeing each other like, wait, you like that? I like that. You know, like we had so many similarities.
So many similarities. Yeah, we would show up to dates and we'd be wearing literally head to toe the exact same thing. Like if I was wearing a white shirt, she was wearing a white shirt. If I was wearing light jeans, she was wearing light jeans. If I had some rips in my jeans, she'd have rips. If I had like oxblood colored Converse going on, she'd wear an oxblood like...
But okay, wait. Yes,
heels.
but not planned. And we were just getting to know each other, so
Right.
we didn't know that this was like our style. We would even have some of the same mannerisms where we would do the same thing or like somehow finish each other's sentence and look at each other like, what are you doing?
I thought she was punking me. If you guys remember the show on MTV Punked, like literally sometimes I would show up and be like, is there like a camera at my house that I don't know about? It's like, we're literally wearing the same thing. Like I'm wearing a flannel that's blue, she's wearing a flannel that's blue, kind of a thing.
And when we met, our hair was similar color because I had like a lot of highlights in my hair and
Yeah.
you had like sun highlights in your hair from surfing. And so, yeah, it was just, there was a lot of funny things that...
Very similar.
Yeah.
Very similar looking.
Yeah, thanks.
But not though, like not too similar where people aren't going to confuse us as being brother and sister. Because
No,
she's got that
God.
darker, nice cocoa butter skin.
Yeah, that'd be so weird.
But yeah, we were dressed very similar. It looked like we were newlyweds every single night. You know
Yeah.
how newlyweds were the exact same thing? It's cute.
But this was like before we even had the chance to lose ourselves in like this identity crisis. We were literally just showing up
Yeah, you're just like,
as we are.
oh,
Like,
that's interesting.
why are we so similar?
It's like, I'm not going to change. You change yourself. There's no time.
And like we both would walk out with leather jackets and be like, okay, one of us has to take off the leather jacket.
Which is really strong, especially if it's in Laguna Beach and you're whipping out a leather jacket.
Leather weather?
Leather weather. It's
Not so
never
much.
leather weather in Laguna. You're looking like an asshole if you're wearing leather in Laguna, which is what we were looking like on some of those occasions.
Well, sometimes it's called for it and it's called style.
Cool style. Huh? I've been to Europe.
Oh, that was the excuse.
I'm sure I used that a few times.
I bet you
Yeah,
did
this
too,
is what
actually.
they're wearing in London right now.
Yeah, this is very on trend. Okay, so I thought talking about how to not lose yourself and your relationship, I think we've done a pretty good job of this. We've always had like our independent identity, but of course, and nobody likes Superman, and we're not saying we are, we've had some dips where we kind of had like bled and taken on into like each other's identity a little bit.
You want to
So
go through a backstory or where we're
yeah, I
taking
think we
this one?
start with our backstory, and we start with like when we first met, because I think this is kind of where it starts, because in the beginning, you know, all the hormones are raging, and we're just like, ah, I love you, you know, and
Just
like
like
we're
animal.
really aggressive. Well, we were kind of aggressive, but
Yeah.
like we were.
It's like a couple of bunnies, you know? It's like, oh, I thought there were just two of them. No, there's three.
Oh, like what? Okay.
You know what I'm talking about.
So, well, we did a really good job of this in the beginning, and it's because we were both so focused on ourselves.
Yeah, well, I feel like everybody else is probably pretty good at this in the beginning as well, because you're not living full time with the other person.
Yeah.
You've got your own life, and then when you come together on the date nights a few times a week, then that's when you could be with the other person. But you all still have like 4 days of the week where it's just all you.
Yeah. And also in the beginning.
That was a terrible example. I'll get better throughout this episode.
That's why I like took a beat. It's like, I think I know what you're talking
I
about.
apologize. I'm embarrassed right now.
But yeah, but because in the beginning, like we talked about this in our backstory even, we were so focused on ourselves.
Yeah.
Why are you laughing?
I'm just
Is your hot
laughing.
chocolate funny?
It's really hot. I burned myself. I didn't want to make a big thing out
Oh
of
my
it though.
god. Okay, so yeah, in the beginning we talked about this in our backstory where we were so focused on ourselves and independently, like we were really working on ourselves.
Just doing you.
We were. Like, you were doing you, I was doing me. And that's also, I think, how we attracted each other because we were interested in the other person because the other person was like so focused on their self-development and like hitting their goals and stuff like that. So in the beginning, I think that's how we attracted each other. But I think that's also how we maintained like our own identity. And we were totally comfortable showing up as our true selves to each other.
For sure. If we could take a little pause right there.
Pause.
Balls. Not yours, Jamie. Dad joke.
I love a dad joke. Oh my god.
Anyways, where I was going with this is I grew up as an identical twin. And so I've always had to carve out time for myself. I started calling that Jeff time. And then in college, it was great. Everyone just knew, like, there was Jeff time. If you couldn't get a hold of me, Jeff time. It was just, like, known. I just calibrated everybody to, like, know that about me.
Yeah.
And so then you were already like that. You already had Jess time. You just hadn't called it that yet.
No, I adopted that from you for sure.
Yeah, but then when we started, going steady and then living together, you were calling it Jess time. It's
I
like,
was.
Nope, this is Jess time. Like, don't talk to me.
Speaking your language.
Yeah, don't talk to me before 9 a.m. Unless it's sweet nothings.
Yeah, unless you're coming in to cuddle, I don't want to hear it. Keep your thoughts to yourself.
Yeah, selective hearing before 9 a.m.
I think too because we were. I'm not going to say selfish. We were just putting self first. And I think you and I were like pretty committed to that because like I remember you were so dedicated to your goals. That was so attractive to me, and like I was dedicated to my business, my goals and things. I think attractive to you.
Yeah.
But we would really we were good at our schedules. I think we're okay at our schedules still, but like back then we were like super strict on our schedules. So we would like schedule in the me time, schedule in the us time.
Yes. And I would just note or remind or recommend everybody who's watching this, if you haven't watched the first episode, watch that because then this is going to make a lot more sense.
Or the second one, our backstory, right?
Backstory, you're right.
Second episode.
I stand corrected. Because when we first started going out, we were not looking for relationships. We were the opposite of thirsty. Like, we did not want a relationship to happen.
Yeah, whoa, okay.
Yeah.
You okay a little bit.
Yeah, we're going to be okay over here.
Yeah.
But anyways, so the issue I see a lot, and I've been guilty of this too, I'm sure you have as well, is when you first get into a relationship, especially if you're thirsting for that relationship, from the get-go, you're willing to sacrifice a lot.
Totally.
Of the things that make you you. I know I've been guilty of that in the past, but when we started going out, or even just hanging out in the first place, we were just kind of like no fucks, honestly. Excuse my French.
No fucks.
It's just like, okay, like, oh, I dig your vibe. You're interesting. I want to hang out with you more.
Yeah.
But if I never see you again, it's not going to be the end of the world.
Well, not for you.
At least at first. And then you were my world.
No, you couldn't get me out of your head. But yeah, and I would say it's like if we did start consuming ourselves with each other, we probably wouldn't have continued dating, I don't think. Like we were.
What do you mean by consuming ourselves with each other?
Like if I just started taking on all of your personality, all of your identity, and like forgot about all of my hobbies, things I like to do, things that make me Jess, like I don't think that you would be interested.
No, well, it's interesting because some of the stuff I thought you were taking on some of my things.
Really?
But then you would back it up. So, for example, it's like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, like, give me an example, please.
It's like volleyball, but then you played volleyball.
Yeah.
And then it was surfing, but then you whipped out your surfboards at your place.
Yeah.
So, I was stood corrected, but it was uncanny how we had so many similarities.
It is uncanny, as you would say, because we had so many similarities that, like, it kind of freaked us out a little bit. We were like, wait, you like that? I like that. I like that, you like that. Like, it was weird. So we came together with so many similarities, but I think we had our own twist on it, like you played beach volleyball, whereas like I played indoor volleyball. I didn't say like, oh yeah, I can play beach. I was like, I played a couple times, but I'm not like fucking good.
I used to be an artist. You were an artist too, but like I did acrylic or like charcoal and stuff. You were watercolor.
Yeah, pastels, and like we had our own.
Or body painting. Going to festivals and
nudist. But yeah, we had
Naturist.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we had our own things, and when we came together and like talked about it, like, no way you like that, and we figured out there were differences in it. So like all of a sudden I wasn't an acrylic painter, you know, and like not all of a sudden you're an indoor volleyball player.
Right.
It was like, no, this is what I like to do. And so we came together and happen to have all these similarities, which if you go back and listen to our backstory, you can hear like it started, the similarity, that connection point was travel, and then entrepreneurship,
tequila, music,
dancing, make sure everyone's having a good time. Like it was pretty cool, but we still like kept our own identity, which was awesome.
We did.
Yeah, and so we would schedule time together, but then we would schedule time apart. So like I was still making sure I was taking care of Jess, you were taking care of Jeff, like you were going surfing with the boys, I was having girlfriend dates. Like that is how our dynamic was, even though we were so excited to see each other and made plans to see each other every single week.
Yeah, that was us at our best, I would say, in terms of separation before, like not including now.
Yeah.
But that was us doing it right.
Yeah.
Then, should we keep moseying down?
Then we started traveling full time.
Then we started traveling. And when you start living with somebody 24/7, then you kind of start taking on some of their characteristics. And
planes, trains, and automobiles. Airbnbs, different countries.
Right, but you try to accommodate it. But where the issue happens, and we were definitely guilty of this, I know I was, is when you just accommodate too much.
Yeah. Well, and that's like what it looks like for a man specifically to like lose themselves in a relationship or begin to lose themselves.
Yeah.
Is they're like showing up as the man and they're making sure that they are the fixer, they're taking care of the other person. And like that is also, doing that too much can throw you out of balance, and then you are losing yourself, where you can show up and want to do everything for your lady, but there has to be a balance there where you don't say yes when you really need to say no.
Can you give an example of that? It sounds nice.
Like a real life example?
Yeah.
Like, I want you... So, perfect example of him setting a great boundary with me. We were in Portugal, and I wanted to go to the LX factory and explore on a Sunday. Sundays, the LX factory, very busy. He did not want to go do that. And so I asked him, and he gave me a nice stern, like, no, you go have fun. So I got to go explore the LX factory.
Not a crowds guy.
Not a crowds guy, but I really wanted to go on a Sunday specifically because that's when they have like all the outdoor vendors and stuff, and it's just part of the culture there. So he told me no, because that's not his vibe. He didn't want to go do that. And so I got to go have a little date day with myself. Like that was such a great example. A way for you to like set the boundary with me, like, you know, I want to do things with you, but like I can't do that today.
Yeah. Great example. I love that.
I'm sure there's examples where like you've said yes to things that you haven't wanted to say yes.
Pretty much every TV show we watch at night.
That is not true. We're watching
the Gilmore Girls.
We are watching Gilmore Girls, but I did make him watch a few Christmas movies this holiday season, and he said yes. But I don't think that was like throwing you out of balance.
No.
It was like a good compromise.
It was.
That's like
happy wife, happy life kind of thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we only get to do it once a year. So when we started traveling together, it's like we had to kind of get to know how each other worked and what our needs were, and be open to that and be open to the compromise. And I would say sometimes it was jarring, just because it's like, what do you mean you don't want to do that? Whenever we used to get together, we always wanted to do the same things, but now that we're like integrating every single piece and we don't have that like built-in separation,
right?
It's like, okay, now we have to figure out like, okay, I want to say no, but I don't want to upset them, or you know, whatever.
Yeah, because when you're living together 24/7, it's hard to be always on, where you're not completely authentic to yourself.
Yeah.
And so when you're dating a few times a week, okay, you could be down for anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But 7 days a week, that would be exhausting to be down for anything.
And we had it, like, I think, because we already naturally had different schedules. He was up and out the door at 5 a.m. at a coffee shop ready to work. I'm like, I'm going to hit the gym for an hour, you know? So, like, we were going in separate directions, coming back and meeting for lunch or around lunchtime, and then going in our separate directions, or maybe going to the same coffee shop, sitting at different tables to do our work. You know, like, we learned to create that separation, which was nice. And then had, like, our coming together moments. Like, Saturday brunches were pretty consistent for us to be doing.
Yeah, those are great.
You know, like, Friday nights, going to dinner, something pretty consistent, or me making dinner at home for us.
Even just sunsets.
Just sunsets.
Yeah, very, very consistent on those.
Yeah, so we were it definitely was a little wobbly once we combined basically everything health and lifestyle wise. Because I mean, we were going to the gym together, we were going to sleep together, we were eating together, we were trying to find co-works together, we were trying to navigate new countries together to figure out like, okay, where is our coffee shop? Where is our office? So, yeah, definitely a little wobbly, but we ended up figuring it out like with the boundaries and what being open to each other's needs. But then we didn't stop there. We needed to add another layer where we weren't just combining health and lifestyle. We then became business partners and had to then combine business. So now one of the things that most people do the most in their life, which is work or go to work, now we're doing it together. So we're not just sleeping together, going to the gym, eating meals together. We're doing this 8-hour-a-day business together. And so that's, I think for me, was like the hardest part to like not lose myself the most, only because like we talk about this in the Working with Your Romantic Partner episode. I think it's episode 4 maybe. Go watch it. But I didn't want to be like the anchor, and I didn't want to I wanted to be on board. I wanted to be the gamer. I wanted to be like, no, I'm the best business partner, you know? And so I did lose a little bit of like Jess, and what made Jess in that instance.
Yeah, you were definitely more accommodating than I was. And I was still accommodating, but you were, I don't want to say yes woman.
I was a yes woman.
But yeah,
I could have been better at that.
But at the time, it worked for us.
Yeah, at the time it was okay, and like
figured it out.
It was a learning lesson for sure.
Yeah.
So all of this to say, really, like we've spent more time together in our over 7 years of being together than most couples have spent with
in their whole life.
Yeah,
we touched on this in the first episode, and it's so freaking true. Like I know Jess, she prepped for this episode.
I did, because this is so important.
Yeah, she actually pulled some stats, because I pulled some stats out of my butt on EP1.
Oh, you did, but I think you did great.
I think I nailed it. I think I got really, really close.
Yeah, go fact check them. Let us know.
Well, you're going to fact check us right now, yeah?
Yeah, I am actually. Sorry. So here's just a couple of stats. So the average couple spends 2 to 4.5 hours a day together, but that includes passive activity. So things like sitting and watching TV together. And then for cohabiting and married couples, it's an average of at least 4.5 hours a day, but that still includes those passive activities. So along with the passive activities we were also like, I don't know, like 10 hours a day, like talking to each other, having to figure out things together. And then according to Dr. John Gottman, you know Gottman, the Gottman Institute.
I do.
And the relationship coaches, he suggests a minimum of 5 hours of connected time together for strong emotional connection, and at least 15 to 30 minutes per day of uninterrupted time to talk, touch, and listen for a stronger bond. So these stats, I don't want to like get off the rails here, because I know this is about time spent together, but it is so intertwined with your identity, losing your identity, too much, what does too much time look like, and then making sure to take that time for yourself. So with these stats, we've been spending so much more, like way over average together.
For sure.
Lots of opportunity for us to like completely lose our identity.
But average sucks. I don't want to be average.
No, me neither. Well, in this case, we're above average, and I don't know if that's the best for not losing
We're just
yourself.
such good lovers. We're just such good relationshipers.
Babe, you know, I honestly... Speaking of spending time with each other, we went on a 15-hour car drive together, and we didn't listen to anything on the radio once. We just talked the whole time.
Yeah, true story. It was amazing.
Yeah.
Also, the first time we went to Portugal together, which is like a 12-hour flight, there were all these open rows, and so I sit down thinking that I'm going to be able to sleep the whole way, and then guess who sits right next to me? Little Jess.
Are you so glad?
Yeah, I thought she was joking with me. She wasn't.
I think I still have it on video. I recorded.
She sat next to me the whole time, and so I was just,
like right here.
Yeah, I was just straight as a board the whole time, and then I think you were on top of my lap.
And then I laid down. Yeah.
And you could have laid that way, but no, you laid on top of me.
Well, you know, I'm sometimes
read my book like this.
Physical touch is a love language.
Trying to watch the TV, just like getting around her big head.
That's not true.
I don't feel it.
Oh, I scared little Gems.
You've got a very good sized head.
Thank you so much. Yeah. So, but like part of our relationship too, maybe this is why we were able to maintain our identity throughout so much of our relationship, is because like from the tequila pre-games in my cottage where we would sit and talk for 3 hours, like that was the beginning of our relationship, all the way up to like now we're doing 15-hour car drives talking to each other. Like we've always been able to talk to each other, but also like share our opinions, share our thoughts, be vocal about it, not like what do you think? Oh, me too. It's like, what do you really think?
Yeah, there's no me too's. We're very good about celebrating each other's individuality.
Yeah. Should
we get into some of the things that we do? I don't want to take it off the rails.
You're not. So just I wrote down like what losing yourself looks like so that you can check your own self, or look at past relationships and see like, okay, where have I lost myself?
Kind of loss of identity audit.
Yeah, loss of identity audit.
Make a little handout for people down below.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, I could totally do that.
Is this you?
So I just wrote this down, so don't mind me looking at my phone, but I just think this is so important so that we can like figure out.
Is the answer always Jess?
Yes. That's all you need to worry about, honey. Okay, so what losing yourself looks like is we forget who we are, things we love, and what makes us happy. We become someone else, merging identities with our partner to force the perfect fit. So this is also, and I want to do a future episode on this, but this is also something that comes with anxious attachment style. So that's what mine was. I've healed from that so much. I think that you're a little bit more of an avoidant attachment style, but
I'll take it.
That's how men and women kind of are. Women kind of have more of the anxious, men have more of the avoidant. Not to say that it's blanket, happens every time.
Can you explain what each of those are a little bit? Because some people probably hearing those terms for the first time and just be like, okay, jargon. What is that?
Jargon. So anxious attachment is where you're afraid that you're going to lose your person. Like all of a sudden they're gonna wake up and they're not going to like you, or you need that constant reassurance that they still like you and that they're not going to leave you. And that typically stems from some kind of an abandonment wound when you're younger. So for girls, it's usually with our fathers, and that is the wound that presents when we're older. We get this anxious attachment where we're so afraid that we're going to be left or the rug's going to be pulled out from under us.
Great example.
Thank you.
And definition.
And then avoidant attachment is typically like you would rather leave the room than like deal with anything.
Yeah, then confront it.
Yeah, you would just like, I don't have time for this. And like you would leave as an avoidant. And so that's how you cope with stressful situations.
Definitely more masculine, I would say. And not to say that a woman couldn't be like that and vice versa.
No, not at all.
But yeah, that was definitely my style.
Yeah, and what's so interesting is like avoidant attachments usually kind of go hand in hand with being emotionally unavailable. And we typically hear that most with men. I'm sure women can be emotionally unavailable, but like generally we typically hear that more with men. But it's so interesting because you and I would have these long, deep conversations that were very emotional. And part of me healing this anxious, I'm getting off the rails, I'll get back on, I promise, but like part of me healing my anxious attachment, because I was really working on myself when I met you, and early on we were having such deep conversations. One of the conversations I remember us having was me saying, well, you could wake up one day and not want to be with me. And you like were like, whoa, where is that coming from? And like you were so curious about it, which I think was really cool.
Cool.
Yeah, but anyway, so that's the anxious and avoidant. Well, I think we should do a whole episode on that because we're, I think, good examples of each.
Let us know.
And let us know. But this one is about how to not lose yourself. So typically when we are losing ourselves in a relationship, and what I just described of merging identities, trying to create that perfect fit, we do tend to see that a little more with the anxious attachment styles. And so it is more women that tend to lose themselves in relationships.
'Cause they're just better at their emotions.
They're better at their emotions, but also like if you think about how we're biologically wired, men have this like switch where they're like, okay, time to retreat into my cave. Like they have a better off switch where it's like, I need to go to cave now, whereas like women were like, okay, what can I do for you? You're like, we want to feel needed, and so that's also kind of like the anxious attachment. But anyways, we'll get into that in another episode. Let us know if you want to talk more about that below. But I just wanted to kind of tie a bow on what losing yourself looks like. And so you can also lose yourself if you're in an unhealthy relationship and your partner is trying to make you something you're not. So this is something maybe to look into. If you're not in the right relationship for you, your partner would try to make you feel like you need to change. And so you will try to please them. And it can go for both men and women.
Yes.
Cool.
Did you want to give an example of that?
Of an unhealthy relationship?
No, when somebody has obviously lost themselves in the relationship a little bit.
Oh, yeah. I think...
And we don't want to, throw anyone under the bus, but, just throw some
are you
examples
thinking
out
about
there.
someone specific?
Always, but you first.
Well, it's like so interesting when you know somebody before they're in a relationship.
Yeah.
And then they get into a relationship and all of a sudden the person you once knew, like they're no longer that person. And you're like, okay, I'm down for people to change and evolve. But
Right.
like now you're acting exactly like this other person. And so I notice it in girlfriends when they all of a sudden kind of like drop you like a hot potato and they don't want to hang out with you anymore. And it's probably because they're still anxiously attached and they're trying to be that perfect fit. They don't want to like leave their SO, or all of a sudden they start like not liking things that they've always loved. Like let's say they loved the ballet. Well, and now their person they're with is like, I am not a ballet person. And they're like, yeah, me neither.
Yeah, we don't like the ballet anymore.
Yeah, I actually never liked it. I was just, and they kind of make up a story about it. And so like we see this, I think, a lot with friends.
Yeah.
And do you have an example you want to share? I feel like you have something on your mind.
I'm not going to throw anyone under the bus.
Well,
but
don't use names.
Right. You can really tell when somebody gets in relationships and they change their religion with every single relationship.
Well, that's a big one.
Yeah,
that's a great
like
example.
Wow.
I know exactly who you're talking about.
Probably. It could be anyone.
It could be anyone. But yeah, it's just...
And nothing's wrong with switching religions, but if it's like 4 or 5 times, then it's like, okay, maybe...
Yeah, it's like we understand wanting, like if you, whatever religion, and you guys are going to get married or you guys are going to be a long-term relationship, it like makes sense.
Yeah.
But when you're maybe just dating and like you're like, oh, they like that. It's like Runaway Bride, Julia Roberts. She doesn't know what kind of eggs she wants. And she, whatever eggs the man she's with likes, those are her eggs.
That's the best example ever.
That is the best. And so then, or those eggs are the best for her. And so then at the end of the movie, she's like trying to figure, she makes all 7 different kinds of eggs, trying to figure out which eggs she likes the best. And she realizes, I think it was like Sunny Side Up or something. We'll have to look that up. Don't quote me on that. But like she figures out, she's like, all these other ones suck. I love these style eggs. And she starts really coming into her own and finding her own identity, starting with the eggs. So go find out what kind of eggs you like.
Ooh, another good example. God, there's like a little bit of a fine line with this too. Nothing's black or white.
Yeah.
Kind of a thing. But for example, Jess has bikinis that she likes to wear.
Yeah.
And that girls like on you.
Thank you.
You know, like the Emirata ones, like those are.
I used to love the ones that like tie around and they have like, he calls them a diaper. He
Yes.
hates them.
Hate 'em.
It's like a loincloth kind of a thing where it's like really scrunched here. And so like there's all this material. He's not a big material guy.
No, less. Yeah. I don't want to leave much up to the imagination.
Yeah.
Just give it, yeah.
Well, it helps with just you and I traveling.
But that's a good example of, with her, she knows what bikinis that I enjoy. But does she throw out all the other ones that she knows I don't enjoy? No, she just wears one with the girlfriends.
Well, and sometimes I wear them with you if I want to.
Right, and I'm just like...
It's like loincloth, really?
Really? Yeah,
I'm going to
the
take them
diaper?
off later, I guess.
with scissors. Yeah, we're not putting that thing back on. Yeah, she's ripping it with the teeth.
God. You've done that before. So, yeah, there's lots of examples. And I think we probably have them in our own life of like giving up things that we love to try to mold into another person. And like, oh yeah, I love that. But like you don't, and like, oh yeah, let's do this. And I don't want to. There's so many of those instances.
Oh, even with friends too. Like I remember in college, like as a dude, one of the things is just drinking a ton of beer. I've never liked beer, kind of a thing.
Not a beer guy?
Not a beer guy. And so like after the first year, I was just like, fuck it. No, I just do tequila, kind of a thing. Like I'll have like 1 or 2 beers, but no, I'm not getting drunk off beer. Like not my vibe.
It's like drinking bread.
Yeah. I want a sketchy buzz. This beer doesn't make me dance better.
Sketchy buzz?
No kidding.
Well, I understand the sketch buzz. It's a little more fun too, anyways.
Well, it's just kind of more. I like the culture and the history behind tequila a little bit more than beer.
Yeah. That would be okay. I would say that would be so fun. Anybody who wants to go on a future retreat doing a little storytelling with tequila would be fun.
Oh yeah. Go on a tequila journey.
Yeah, it'd be so fun.
Yeah, a little fun fact. When I was in college, I was like really good at knowing the different tastes of tequila. I would go into this one bar, and then if I could guess like 3 of the 4 shots they would give me, then I'd get to drink free for the night.
We haven't done a tequila night in a long time.
Jimmy is...
You can hear that.
He's snoring over here.
But it kind of just... It just comes back like... our humanness and survival, we just want to fit in, be liked, and loved.
Yes.
You know, like that's what it comes down to.
But when we over-index too much, then we just become a yes man or yes woman.
Yeah, and it's also why, like, the self-love component, putting self first, is so important, because if you can show up exactly as you are, and the person who you're interested in, who you want to be in a relationship with, loves you exactly as you are, like, nothing can be better than that.
Yep. Yeah. That's when it's like, whoa, sparks are flying.
Yeah. And
wow.
Dare I say, that's why in the beginning we had some major sparks.
Yeah.
I mean, we still have sparks, but, like, you know, the coming together sparks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So now that we kind of have an idea of what it looks like to lose yourself in relationships, and you've heard our backstory, how we were spending so much time together.
Probably too much in retrospect.
I mean, were we? I don't know. I wouldn't say too much, because I think we learned so much from it. And we also learned, by being together all the time, we learned so much about how to still take care of ourselves.
Yeah.
You know? And so with all of that, like, how did we not take on each other's identity? How are we still individuals now? Like, I still plan girlfriend time, and then you still plan, since you've had some health issues. I know it's been hard for you to do that, but, like, if you didn't have, if we're down the road over the health journey, like we're past the health journey, then it's like you will be spending time. You will be able to have that independence.
Yeah, it's just celebrating your individuality. So there, I mean, I could share what I was doing even when I was bedridden.
Yeah.
Because I would help people, because then no one could be like, oh, well, easy for you to say because X. It's like, no, bitch. Or dick, sit down, kind of a thing. This guy was freaking in bed for too long.
Yeah.
But what I would do is I would make a gratitude list every single day, and that's morphed into something a little bit more sophisticated. And so if you think it makes sense for me to share what that more sophisticated version is.
I think so, because now you just incorporate more you time with it.
Yeah, so what I would do back in the day is I would do 10 things, and then of gratitude, like, what am I grateful for today?
Who taught you that?
This girl, wow. Yeah. Ego. We've always been doing that together, where she was the one who taught me it. Gratitude, 10 things in the morning.
But you made it your own.
So I made it my own. And so then every day I would just stack my 10 wins, and then I would throw those wins inside of a gratitude jar. And it was great, because each day I could see the jar being filled up, and seeing myself getting better. Well, what that's morphed to now, I would recommend it to everybody, even if you're like loving life already, is having this prompt. It's, where's the proof that I'm getting closer to the life I desire? And so for me, every single day, my list could be anywhere from 20, like 50 things. And keep in mind, I'm still at only like 4,000 steps a day kind of a thing, being able to work out once, twice a week with like 4 sets total kind of a thing. Like
going from lifting hundreds of pounds and walking over 10K steps a day, jumping out of helicopters to go snowboarding, skydiving.
Yeah, but like even for perspective, last month in November, we're shooting this at the end of December, I couldn't do 1 pull-up kind of a thing. Then this week I'm doing 16 kind of a thing in 20-degree weather.
Yeah.
So like it's nice seeing that kind of a progress. But what I'll do is I'll look at all 8 areas of life. So I'll ask myself, I'll be in the tub end of the day and be like, okay, where's the proof that I'm getting closer to the life I desire in all 8 areas of life? Mentally, spiritually, physically, socially, family-wise, financially, vocationally. And then I'll just start writing those things down, and then I'll get a list of 20 plus. And then as I'm sitting there, I don't stop there. I look at them, and then I feel the joy and the happiness of all of those things. Even if they're small things, it's just like celebrating where you are in that moment as an individual. That could work for anybody to instantly increase your happiness by, I would say, at least like 20-30%.
Yeah.
Literally within a week.
And you do it too where it's like you time. Like that's designated Jeff time in the tub. The door is closed. I'm usually making dinner or something. Yeah. And that way it's like just the you time. So even when you're not able to plan the boys' nights, you're not able to go do the surf trips, you're not able to go to the coffee shop, to go out to the gym or whatever, like you're finding ways to make sure that you get you time.
Yeah.
And just alone time. I know you would want to do more than that.
For sure. But you know, I mean, I'm happy with where I'm at right now.
Yeah.
Just being grateful with it. I've set the bar really, really low. So anything's a bonus at this point. But so that's how I do Jeff time right now. Again, when I get a little bit healthier, I will be doing surf trips, boys trips, and all that stuff, hanging out with the boys a few times a week. But then while Jess is making dinner every night, if she is making dinner that night, we don't do takeout or whatever, is we'll be asking each other, we'll be celebrating each other's individuality. Where I'll be like, okay, what are your 3 highlights of the day? And usually it'll turn into like 5 to 10 highlights.
I just keep going. Well, I think we both keep going. So we go through our day. And we're like, wow, today was such a great day.
Yeah, it's not like little things like, oh, I had this bagel and like the bite was so good.
I mean, sometimes it is. Sometimes we have a banging piece of food and I'm like, that Mexican was amazing.
Yeah, but usually it's like bigger things.
Yeah.
You know?
It's like I really enjoyed our date getting Mexican and having that quality time with you.
Yeah, or I was proud of myself when I did X.
Yeah. That's something is like, now we're so much more vocal about what we're proud of ourselves for, which I think is so cool. And you've always said like, I'm so proud of you. You've always like, that's something that I like from the beginning you've always said, but now
I think I feel like things like that, like, because I don't think I've ever had someone be like, oh, I'm proud of you.
Yeah.
So then it's like more than like you try to make an effort to be the one that does that for other people.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and you've always been so good about that. But then also something that celebrates our individuality is because we come to each other to consult with each other, whether it's life, health, or business.
Yeah.
Like we value each other's opinion and we know it may be different. And so, and we're open to that in most cases, you know, like we're open to the other opinion. So we try to celebrate each other that way as a couple.
So just to bring it back, so like some actionable steps for you guys is if you're, you know, hope you're not, but if you're like bedridden and you really can't do anything, start doing the daily proof list like we talked about. That is going to help you just like feel so much better in your own skin, own your moment, and just like it's going to really increase your happiness. But then if you are in a relationship, to make sure you guys don't like amoeba into like the same kind of person, celebrate each other's differences and celebrate each other's wins each day. And it's as simple as just like when one of you is making dinner, you can have a light music going on, you could like be dancing, twirling your girl or whatever, but then celebrate the things that she was excited about or proud of for herself for that day.
Yeah. I was just like thinking about the celebrating each other's individuality and like our differences, and it makes me laugh because I think back to when we were first dating, and there's things like that would shock you that I would do, and you do this thing where when I shock, because I still shock you, but like you go like whoa, you know, and like with that kind of laugh, and it's like I can tell like it kind of turns you on, but then also you're like, whoa, kind of scared.
Yeah, well, like, dangerous sexy.
Yeah, dangerous sexy.
Let's go. I'm in. I love a challenge.
Yeah.
It's like the, who's the guy, like the bullfighter. It's like, oh, this is kind of dangerous when I'm set down. Come over here.
But that's like literally, that I remember so much because it's like, me being so different scared you, but like in a fun way, in like a good way, and you never were like, whoa, stop that, or whoa, change, or whoa, I don't like that. You were always like, whoa, took a beat, I can handle this. You know, like I got this.
It's like we're at a restaurant and then I stop looking at her for a second. Next thing you know, she's behind the bar like slinging drinks for people. I'm like, whoa, okay. Do I support this? If so, how can I?
Yeah. You love that.
How can I make this even better?
But that's something I think that you just understood how you were, and you were understanding how I was, and then vice versa. I understood who I was, and I was understanding how you were. Yeah. And so it made us so much more open-minded to just things that each other would do that would shock us, would surprise us. Yeah. But we also, I think, we both like things that kind of scare us. Mm-hmm. Like we both like to be challenged, and so it's like, okay, that's different, but what, I'm kind of into it.
Yep. We should. How are we doing time-wise? Time-wise, we have a call in just 7 minutes.
You're right. Okay, so I'm just gonna run through. I wrote down my list, so I'm gonna run through my list of things that I did to maintain my identity, especially because it's mostly women that do lose themselves in relationships. Not to say men don't, because they 100% do. But I'm just gonna run through what I did. So I did, and I still do. So self-development, it's a big part understanding who I am and what I need and practicing that self-love. That's a big form of self-love for myself. So I want to be the happiest and the best version of myself, because then I get to show up and be the amazing wife and partner for my husband.
Can I throw some in as well? Because these are kind of universal things.
Yeah.
Is when you go into a situation, know what you want out of that situation before it even happens. Because if you go in...
Have an idea.
Yeah. Yeah, for example, like you're going out to the bar with the girlfriends or with the boys. What is your intention?
Yeah.
Are you looking to have a good time? Are you looking to have a terrible time? You know what I mean? Like, it sounds so simple, but most people just go on autopilot mode. And it's like, if you could just have an intention, the world will... It's got a funny way of just like bending around your will.
Totally.
If you have a will and if you have an intention.
Yeah, if you want to intentionally create your life, and we want to do that separately. We want our independence, but then we also want to co-create a life together and want to continue to grow together.
Yes.
Great point, having that intention. I put down scheduling time with girlfriends. So I used to be the girl many years ago where I would put the guy I was with first, and I wouldn't make time for girlfriend time. And now looking back, I can't even believe I did that, because I value female friendships so much. And so it's like, okay, as this learning and growing and realizing the woman I am, the life I want to create, it's like female friendships have to be in that one of the top priorities.
I think it goes both ways too, because like when you get into an awesome relationship, then you could be like, okay, I've got 7 days in a week, therefore I want to spend all of them with this new person. That's not the best way to do things, because you spent years cultivating and nurturing these awesome relationships with friends and family members maybe, and then if you just over-index and spend all your time with this new person, it's kind of like a slap in the face. You're kind of to those friends and family members.
Yeah.
So we've been guilty of that. I feel like everyone's been guilty of that, but just try to... Friendly reminder, and it's a reminder to ourselves as well.
Yeah, and like we want to create soul family, and like I want to have girlfriends that I'm hanging my granny panties up with, you know, that know my husband and my family, and like I know theirs and stuff too. So like that's really important and high values in my life.
Yeah, don't lose your day ones kind of a thing.
Exactly.
Or just your close ones.
Yeah, so then the next thing that I did and still do is prioritizing my hobbies. So things like working out, reading, boxing, going to workout classes, art, creating, beach time, sunsets, walks, journaling, like these things I don't give up. I still do them and make sure that I set aside time to do them.
I want to interject right there.
Yeah.
Also, hobbies, it's great when you can do it with your partner, but also...
We have those.
Yes, but you don't always have to do them with your partner. So, for example, like, for me, do I like surfing with Jess? Yes, but do I like surfing with the boys, too?
And by yourself.
And by myself, yes. Because if I were to only surf with you, then I probably wouldn't push it. I wouldn't push my skills as much.
Experience.
If I was just with the boys, then maybe we'd be pushing it too hard.
Oh yeah, I can see a couple hospital runs happening.
But the same thing goes with, you know, drinks with the girls. Like, you don't need to bring your man with you. Like, keep those just sacred with you and your girls.
And they can come together certain times. Like, there's like girl talk and just having those girl nights, like womanhood, watching your shows while drinking wine. Like, those are memories and things that I love doing. So even just sitting at the kitchen table, shooting the shit before we're going out. Like, I love those moments so much. So, prioritizing hobbies. Maintaining my self-care routine. So self-care is a really big value of mine. So even when we first started dating, like Jess time included, like I would make sure I'd go get my nails done when I wanted to. This kind of leads into something else I'm going to say. I'd go get my hair done. Like if I wanted to get a facial, I'd go get my facial done. And this goes into saying that I would never wait for him to make plans with me. It's like if I wanted to make plans, I wouldn't say no to something just in case he wanted to make plans. It's like if he wanted to make if he wanted to make a plan with me, he would. But until then, like I'm gonna make my own plans. And that doesn't mean that I didn't take the initiative to say, hey, do you want to go do something? Like I still did that too. Hot air balloon ride. Hey, I want to experience this with you, you know? And so I would ask him, like, I wouldn't leave it up to just him to make the plans. Although in the beginning I kind of did, but that was fun because you really took control.
Yeah, I didn't know for like a whole year that she could even cook. I learned from her sister. Her sister's like, she's a great cook, right? I'm like, what? No, Jess doesn't cook.
She doesn't
and then
cook.
Jess just like spits out her drink. She's like, oh shit.
Now I gotta cook.
Yeah, the jig is up.
But yeah, so I wouldn't like leave my day open just in case. I would still make my plans if I had no plan with him, but then I would also still take the initiative if I wanted to see him to see if he wanted to do something or if he wanted to go experience something together. So then I spent time exploring places, new places by myself. This was especially important while traveling. Like I told you, the LX factory, just because he didn't want to go doesn't mean that I stayed back. I still went. Same thing, like I would still, like I remember in Austin, I'd go and explore Austin on my free time.
Or even this last week is you're going to holiday parties and then
Yeah.
I couldn't go to them.
Yeah, I went to a holiday party.
Yeah.
And so like, and that's also cultivating girlfriends and friendships too. It's really important to me. And so still doing things you want to do and not being afraid to do them on your own.
Mm-hmm.
And then let's see, having personal goals that I want to achieve in life and business. So maintaining those goals. So just because I have this amazing new man that I am falling in love with in my life doesn't mean that I'm going to put my goals to the side. Like I was very diligent about like hitting business goals, hitting personal goals, going to workouts, making new friends, hitting business milestones and stuff. So, yeah,
We just got to wrap it up in a minute if that's okay.
Yeah.
Or I could just exit stage right and take the call.
No.
Okay.
We will jump off in 1 second. And then this is also embracing our differences, the masculine and the feminine. And so being okay with being a feminine woman and him being a masculine man, not trying to take over. But that's all I got for the tips on how we did it so that you guys can go and take these as examples and implement them yourself. I know we gotta go, so sorry to rush the ending, but please like, share, subscribe, share with a friend that you think this would resonate with, and please leave a comment below. Any questions you have, let us know your favorite part of the podcast, and we will see you in the next video, you guys.
Yeah.
Bye. Woo, we did it.